This is a little bit deeper video with some life updates and just I need to vent a little bit. If that's not your thing. I'm not gonna rage on here like I used to. I just have had some changes of heart and looking through the lens of life a little bit differently than I did even a year ago. You know, I'm at a point where I'm done living in the past, but I'm also at a point where the past is still very much in my present. And balancing those two things is kind of difficult. I decided a while ago to stop living. I talk about my autism a lot because it shapes me. It very much affects the way I do things and how I live. I'm starting to learn as I settle into my second year of knowing that I have it and understanding myself with it, that I can live beyond my labels, and I am not autism. I live with it. But I've been having a hard time recently, and it's been difficult. Had some videos up that I took down, and I will not go back to that point. But I lost out on an opportunity that I was really hoping for again, and I was really disappointed, and I cried a little bit. But then I came to realize, just like this channel, I don't put myself out there for the world to find. I don't like my stuff on the shorts feed usually because it just brings in random people. It brings in everybody. And I want this channel to find who it's meant to find. The whole law of the universe type thing. Where was I going with this? Living beyond your labels. When you define yourself as something, that label can stick for a long time, especially in other people's minds. A lot of people don't see me as anything but an autistic person since I've put that label on myself, which was my own. I'm starting to learn that I'm not supposed to fit into the world. I don't belong to the world anymore. I gave that up when I converted to Christianity. And I don't need to put myself so far out there that I look like a crazy person. There's a song I like called Iris, and there's a line that says that I don't want the world to see me because I don't think they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. I think that the right people find you. We all find our tribe somewhere. This channel's not for everybody. I've lost subscribers over my healing, and this is just who I am and at this point and where I'm at. I'm still building a life worth living. Sometimes I go into deeper stuff, and sometimes I cook. This isn't necessarily just a cooking channel. It's just a small hobby. I'm not doing this to show off. That opportunity I lost, I didn't just lose it. It was a learning experience, and so it wasn't a failure. And they lost out on having the experience of somebody that understands. things through another lens. You know, maybe there's a place out there you can still have a disappointment because being sad isn't who you are. I learned that. I used to think of myself as this depressed person that was weird. You know, depression's a state. Sadness is a state. It doesn't make me who I am. You can still accumulate those positives even with a failure, even with a letdown. And I'm determined to build mastery on the skills that I need to meet my goals. I want to learn. So what, a door closed? I'm not for that world. But there is a world for me. And there's a door that'll open somewhere else. When I close a door, I leave it closed. I will give second chances, and I like second chances, but that's always at a new door, as a new person, in a new place. You know, that's how you gotta look at life. These things happen, and that's hard with rigid thinking to accept. A letdown isn't failure, it's just an opportunity for redirection in the right path. You can still build a life worth living. Life updates. Well, people I'm staying with, they're going to be taking in some missionaries this summer, so I don't know how the videos are going to go, but we'll see how that goes. Filming might be stretched out. I need to get on top of making those marshmallows and that popcorn, as well as that stew. I'm just kind of going with things that I feel like doing right now. That's what I've needed to do to ground. And I'm looking at trying to get out on my own. That's going to take another job. It's just not looking good out there right now in the market. But letdowns are opportunities for learning. That's how I'm going to choose. I'm going to show up as the person I want to be in the world, not as the person the world thinks I should be. I can't force the changes I want to see by shouting on YouTube about my problems. What I can do is I can change from the inside, starting with myself, and be the person that I want to see in the world, and then change quietly and change the situation from the inside. I wasn't there a year ago. I'm done living in the past. I'm ready to live in the now. I'm reading that book right now, Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. It's a good book. So yeah, sometime I'll talk about the autistic experience, but I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole with it. That's what this channel is about. It's a hobby. It's about living intentionally, sharing some cooking, sharing my life to a point. I hope you are all doing well out there. Take care.